Hey everybody, Johnny5 Live here, and in today's video I'm going to be giving a Planet Coaster final review. The game has been out for exactly 2 weeks now, and I've played for a total of 142 hours between alpha, beta, and now release, so I have a pretty strong understanding of the game front to back. I give my final game reviews a score out of 10 based on a value versus objective system. The value being how much are you paying versus how much are you playing, and the objective being what was the game's intention and did it achieve that. I take those two core factors and compare them against one another for a final score out of 10. So stay tuned and let's review this game. Alright, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more Planet Coaster content, and let me know what you guys think of this review and the game down in the comments below. So previously in both my beta review feedback video and my day one first impressions review, I was pretty critical on the gameplay. I am an ex-QA tester and game analyst for the game industry. I tend to find flaws and highlight them in terms of honest critique and feedback. So I was being pretty critical and pretty honest in those previous reviews. And I want to note that some of my criticisms in those previous reviews are already fading, as the game has already released a free content update not even a week after launch, with another big free content update coming in December. So the devs are listening closely and making sure to improve the game in every aspect possible. In this video I want to focus more on the good and the great about the game, while still highlighting some of those minor things I would like to see improved in the near future. So let's get into it. So first off, what is Planet Coaster? Planet Coaster is a theme park and roller coaster simulation game. This game does an amazing job at simulating all the things that you desire in a theme park and roller coaster building experience. All the guests are animated, full of life, and have brains. They make decisions. They're adorable, friendly, and they make you care about them. The guests themselves are absolutely amazing, and I could spend an hour just ranting about them because they have so much personality and they're just so great to watch. They're absolutely amazing. The food stalls come in a wide variety of choices, and seeing that each guest walking around with their food, hat, gift, and balloon of choice really gives you that sense that your decisions are really impacting the guests' decisions. So they go hand in hand with each other, and it's really fun placing these food shops and seeing your guests interact with them. The flat rides also come in a wide variety of nostalgic favorites. They are fantastic. They are animated to perfection. These flat rides are amazing. You'll have all your fan favorites, and it's really fun to see the guests riding these rides, and you can actually ride them in first person, third person. You can check them out and get really close. There's so much detail gone into the flat rides. So the flat rides that make a theme park what they are intended to be are really spot on. The roller coasters, well, let's just say they thought about everything, and everything is methodically thought out, from the wider supports needed on high riding roller coasters to the uniquely invented hybrid steel wooden coasters that allow inversions. They have added dozens of types of roller coasters, and it really allows for an endless amount of creativity, experimentation, tinkering, and discoveries of new ideas. I myself have played the game for nearly 150 hours and only scraped the surface of experimentation with playing with only about 5 or 6 of these 30 plus coaster types. It's absolutely insane how many choices there are with the coasters themselves, and how much endless fun you're gonna have before you get through them all and play with them all. It's really, really crazy. The roller coasters are spot on. Not only are the coasters amazingly designed from visuals and sounds, they also come with a set of tools that really allow you to have full control over exactly what you intended them to do. These tools allow you to fix, salvage, and reverse engineer any failed coaster into a successful coaster without hours of frustration. These tools really make being creative easy and exciting. It doesn't end at roller coasters though. They added scenery rides, which allow you to make wonderful immersive experiences connected to triggered events to make that experience play out perfectly. And triggered events couldn't be easier to implement. All you do is add a number, click it, and add an item, and you're off to the races. These scenery rides can turn out to be some of the best rides, as a lot of the time you spend decorating, you want to show it off somehow, and doing a scenery ride around your scenery really allows you to make these immersive sets that you can take people through this experience that you envisioned. They've also thrown in your traditional monorails, trains, and transport rides to really get you thinking about about map flow, where you want big crowds to be drawn in. Placing a transport ride to get them there is a really good way of creating popular areas and thinking about map flow and traffic. It's a really fun aspect of the game that really gets you thinking about your map design and layout. As a bonus, they ended up adding in a few water rides like the log flume and the river rapids, with more coming in the future. I want to touch on game modes really quickly, and I will go more in depth into the career mode, but you have 3 major game modes here, one being career mode, which I will talk about later, and then you have sandbox mode, which allows you to just go in and create whatever you want with unlimited money and just build whatever your heart desires. And this is where I spend a lot of my time creating assets for the external mode. And then you can also go into challenge mode, and what's cool is you can actually take a map from career mode or a map from the Steam Workshop and you can import it into challenge mode. So you can start with a blank map, and then it gives you the challenge of having to earn the money yourself and do everything legitimately. You don't have unlimited cash, and then you have to go forth and beat or complete your map with those rule sets in place. Now, like I said, you can go into My Parks and you can load in a map, which is really cool. However, there is one thing that I need to note here, and I hope the developers take wind of this. When you click on one of these empty maps, it allows you to choose a difficulty. And one of my complaints in my day 1 review was the game wasn't hard enough for me, even on the hard difficulty. Now they've added a harder mode. They don't really tell you what's harder about it. It just says 4 season park managers, where they do give you some tool tips on why this is hard. So I would like to know why this is harder. However, if I go into My Parks and I pick a park, and if I pick a park that was imported from Campaign or the Steam Workshop, and I open it as challenge, it does not allow me to select the difficulty. This is something I really hope gets fixed, because if it doesn't, it would overall drop the score of my final score a lot. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that they fix it later on, because I don't ever really want to go into challenge mode with a flat blank map. I'm going to create a map in sandbox mode, and then I'm going to import it into challenge mode and play challenge mode on harder difficulty. But as of right now, in this very moment, it doesn't seem like you can pick a custom map in challenge mode. You have to pick a flat map on harder mode. So that is like a big downfall with the challenge mode right now, and I'm assuming that is going to get fixed later on. And until that happens, I'm feeling very limited. The career mode leaves a bit to be desired. Sandbox mode is too easy mode for me. Unlimited money is not that interesting. And challenge mode, you have to start from a flat map on harder difficulty, when I really want to create a map in sandbox mode and take it into harder challenge mode. So maybe I'm wrong about that, but I can't seem to find the option where it pops up where I can choose harder mode on a custom map. And if anybody knows the answer to that, let me know down in the comments below. There are so many things to discover in this game, so many details in the system, the management, the creativity, and more. I can't really touch on them all without turning this into a lengthy 2-hour review. So now that I've covered the core features and the bare bones of the game, I'm really leaving the details for you to discover yourself, and that alone is half the fun, if what I mentioned already wasn't enough. With all those things I just mentioned, the game does an amazing job at drawing you back in, making you crave this desire to go back and improve upon previous inventions. For example, I created this massive park. While it was an amazing park, it still had its problems. Areas became congested, many people were getting thirsty, and some areas could still have been decorated further. Looking back at it all, I get this intense craving to go back and recreate new parks with the vision of making sure congestion problems are properly thought out and managed, food courts are properly dispersed in key locations, and areas are pre-planned for specific themes, giving each area of the park a unique feel and experience. No game I have ever played truly prides on your creative strings as well as this game does. Therefore, I must say this game is truly one of the best creative simulation experiences I've ever played. All that said, this game is more than just a theme park coaster building simulation. This game has a much deeper level of creativity that goes far beyond the simulation of building parks and coasters. The scenery, decorations, and depth behind what you are able to build with the pieces provided is absolutely insane. I have spent countless hours creating sci-fi themed buildings, and I haven't even even scratched the surface of what I want to accomplish yet. This alone is a game itself, and for creative people, it takes things to a whole new level because of the Steam Workshop sharing system. It has never been this easy to create something and simply hit the upload to Steam Workshop button, and within minutes, people are downloading your creations and putting them in their parks. This turns a single player experience into something much more than what a massive multiplayer experience can provide. If you're into MMOs, this system really simulates the next generation of MMO because the community is so amazing that you will feel a part of something so much bigger than you could even ever imagine. When you spend countless hours working on something you've creative and you see it hit the front page of Steam or shown on another YouTuber's channel or shown on a Workshop Wonderland live stream, you really get a sense that creativity and sharing is more than just a subscribe and share button. It pulls on your heartstrings and it drives you to push your creativity and passion to a whole new level. And this is something I have never experienced in any other game before this. It truly puts this game in its own category, and that category is derived from this incredible, passionate community. I don't even know how to categorize this game. It's so much more than a creative simulation. I'd have to say that this game is a massive multi-person creative sharing community simulation theme park roller coaster experience, and that still doesn't do it justice. This game is truly on its own level. It takes the creative bar and raises it higher than anything we've experienced previously. It's truly a wonder of its own kind. While this game does an absolutely amazing job on so many levels, there are some things that need to be improved, and if I want to give an honest review, I have to mention them here. I have already gone into great detail on some of these things on my day one review, so go check that out if you want to know more. The biggest things I would like to see improved really boil down to the out-of-the-box experience itself. This is for those of you who simply want to open up the game for the first time and dive deep into gameplay without having to get super dirty in the creative aspects that you're saving for later, or having to go to the Steam Workshop. That being said, the out-of-the-box experience lacked in some terms of the pre-made shops, facilities, scenery, and buildings. However, Frontier has already patched in a whole bunch not even a week later, which I created a video on as a content update video, which now softens my opinion on this review, and we have another huge patch in the near future. So this particular gripe is quickly being worked on, and I can see the out-of-the-box experience being much better in the near future. The next big thing I want to mention here that I have a minor gripe for is the career mode. While the career mode was decent, it wasn't spectacular either. One thing that I find makes a really strong career mode in these types of games is being creative on a greatly inspiring map or landscape, which then has a set of rules to make you think outside the box, while teaching you how to play the game along the way. Now I kind of have to go a little bit off script here for this part because I just want to get it out and talk about it. So let's just get real and talk about it really quickly here. The scenario is broken up into 4 chapters: Captain Lockjaw's Buried Treasure, Princess Amelia's Fairy Tale, Dex R's Science Shenanigans, and King Coaster's Royal Decree. So to sum it up, I feel like the progression of the game teaches you things. You learn most of it here, and then they try to teach it to you here. I just feel like the order of what they teach you is kind of in a bad order, and out of all the scenarios in the game, really only went all out on this one, and I was inspired to go crazy. This was the best map, and I wished that I had an experience like I did on Good Golly Miss Molly on some of the other maps as well. And I come out of this whole scenario playing through them all kind of feeling like I only had one good experience throughout the whole career mode, and every other level just more or less felt like, okay, let's just get it done with and see what the next level has to offer. I do feel like this level has potential to be fun in challenge mode. I feel like this level and this level have a little bit more fun to be had in challenge mode, and then for the King Coasters, I do think Monolith is going to be a lot of fun. This one I do feel like I will enjoy it, and I'll do something crazy on it, so maybe there'll be 2 maps that I really enjoyed. I really wish there was more stuff like these 2 throughout the career experience. This is something that can be changed in the future. They can add in more scenarios. Whoever made this needs to do more of them because it was really awesome, and whoever made this needs to do more of them because these are the type of maps that get you inspired to make these crazy parks. And coming out of the career mode, I just felt there was a little bit more to be desired. So the out-of-the-box experience in terms of career mode, it's not incredible, which is a little bit strange to me because they put so much work into the rest of the game, and the game just, it raises the bar in every aspect that it goes beyond what any other game has ever done. And because of that, I was a little bit shocked that the career mode and the amount of assets that came with the game out of the box wasn't as good as everything else in the game. And it would have only taken about a month of development extra, and it would have really been a perfect experience out of the box. This stuff will likely get fixed in patches in the near future. If you're just looking to use the assets that come with the game and just play the career mode that's provided with the game, experience that as your entire experience, I have to say that there's a little bit left to be desired in that aspect. Alright, let's move on to the final score. Let's talk about the value of the game. The game is priced at $60 Canadian, and I've already gotten 150 hours of gameplay, and this is a game that I can see myself playing more than any game I have ever played in the history of me playing games. I can easily see a near endless amount of replayability. Thousands of hours to be played. Therefore, the value of this game is priceless. And I've never once said that before in any one of my reviews. They nailed it. They not only nailed it, they raised the bar and blew off the ceiling. Let's talk about the objective. The objective is to make an immersive, creative theme park roller coaster simulation experience. As mentioned earlier, so many details from the sound, animations, the guests, the rides, the roller coasters, the shop stalls, the scenery, everything. They absolutely nailed it. And again, they raise the bar and explode the roof. It's absolutely an astonishing game. The only thing I can take away from the objective here is the out-of-the-box experience. I find myself creating my own stuff, digging through the Steam Workshop for assets to fill my park, and still hoping to find or make better maps myself. While this is a great problem to have, it's also a lot of prep work for those of you who just want to dive in and have an incredible experience out of the box. Again, it's a great problem to have for those creative people, but for some it may turn them off. The core base of the game, front to back, is great. However, those two big adjustments to career mode maps and more default assets will make the game truly incredible. At this point, I'm comparing an out-of-the-box a great experience to a potential out-of-the-box incredible experience. They raise the bar in every other aspect of the game, and they aren't far from doing so with the career mode and assets. In some cases, I expected much more from career mode and pre-made assets based on how much they delivered on everything else. It would have only been an extra month of work achieving that perfection, so I was a bit surprised at the game somewhat lacked in career mode and asset variation out of the box, and those are very important aspects of the game to someone like myself. So the objective is a tough one for me. It's next level in terms of objective, but on the out of the box experience leaves a bit to be desired when compared to the rest of the product. This is something that can easily be fixed with both updates and Steam Workshop. I have to point this out for those who are not interested in waiting or doing the legwork themselves. For me personally, I can brush it aside as everything else has been done exceptionally great. So my final verdict, the value in this game is 100 out of 10. It just blows me away, the value here. It's insane. The objective, I'm going to have to say, is a 9.5 out of 10, taking away the 0.5 for those minor hitches in the career mode and the out-of-the-box assets. However, those are things that can be improved on, and you can make that stuff yourself and create your own experience. And because you can create those things yourself, then it really, at the end of the day, doesn't matter that the career mode wasn't perfect, but I would love to see more complicated, complex levels added in the future. So the value of this game is tremendous. The objective is near perfect. I'm going to have to give this game a final score of a 9.5 out of 10, taking a minor hitch off for the reasons given previously. And I have to mention that I've never ever scored a game higher than a 9, and I believe I've only ever given one game a 9 out of 10. I'm pretty critical on games, 5 being an averagely good game, and I don't think many games have made it over an 8 with me. So 9.5 is a near perfect score, and that 0.5 meaning there is always room to improve. This stuff, those minor hitches will likely be improved on in the future, and this game will be likely sitting at a 10 out of 10 for me, and in its current state, it's already game of the year for me, and as a creative person, it pulls on all my heartstrings. I highly recommend this game, especially if you're a creative person. If you're a creative mind, blind person, you're crazy not to own this game. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you like it, please smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe and let me know what you guys think of the game down in the comments below. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.